Hi, this is Leigh Ambergy, stampwithleigh.com. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Metro, Ohio, and thank you for stopping by today. Wow, it has been, I know it's been a couple months, but it feels like it's been a couple years since I have filmed and shared a video. So right now I'm filming the video, and I hope that when I go to process it and actually get it onto YouTube, that I remember what I'm supposed to be doing. But, you know, no guarantees. So we're just going to start off and take it one bit at a time. And right now I'm just going to do filming the video. This is the card I'm going to be sharing with you today. I'm making it for an upcoming Valentine buffet class that I'm having. And I usually have a monthly buffet class. And that is an assortment of cards that you choose to make. But I decided to focus on like a special theme for buffet. So this is one of the cards for that class. And I also, I usually don't remember to decorate envelopes, because when I'm stamping and getting everything ready for a class, I'm not focusing on the envelope. I focus on the envelope when I get ready to mail this. So I decided to add some designer series paper to the flap of an envelope. So I have that. But this card, I saw this from another demonstrator, and I think it was Karen's Stamp Habit or Karen's Stamping Habit. I'm not really sure what the correct title is. But she stamped her greeting and then embossed it, and I just changed mine up and just stamped my greeting separate, and then pretty much followed everything. And this is what I did. I did it first, but then I don't know. It's fine. It's beautiful, but I liked putting more emphasis on my greeting. So that's why I decided to die cut it, and it's up on mini dimensionals. So the products that we used for this are the Hearts of Love new embossing folder. And my greeting is You Make My Heart Smile, is from the Layers of Beauty stamp set. And then this, of course, is the way our stamps were stored. This is now the new way our stamps come. So this die coordinates with this stamp set. I didn't use this stamp set, but the large heart die, which is this right here, is part of the Endless Love bundle. And then my little greeting was popped out with the textured notes dots. So that's those products. And then I also, for an embellishment, just added the red and white Baker's Twine bow, a double bow. So let's get started. Let's see if I remember really how to film and do a video. Like I said, it's been a really long time. You get into a routine and a habit, and then you just do it. And then when you don't, seems for me, when I sort of get out of a habit, then I get out of a habit, and it's just really hard not to get back into it. So hopefully this is back to the start of me doing my weekly videos, my Sunday videos, getting those recorded and posted for you. So if you are watching this from the my YouTube channel, in the description box below, there's a link that will take you to this blog post. So it will have the measurements and a listing of all the material that I used for this. And while you're there at my blog, just sign up, enter your email, and then every time I enter a new post, you'll get an email notification for that. So this is what I'm going to use for the back of my envelope. Let me grab one of those, just in case you don't know how to add DSP to the flap of an envelope. It is so easy, so easy to do. So let's start with getting this card layers onto our card base. So I'm just using tape runner on that. Be careful with tape runners, certain tape runners. I don't know if you can see, I prefer a tape runner that has a diamond dot pattern. It's forgiving, it will stick, it is still permanent. But until you really press it down, you can peel it off and change your mistakes. But some tape runners will grab on the back of an embossing folder and will start to tear. So you might want to use liquid adhesive. Really, this is a very thin border, and I did not like how I had that. So let's try again. Much better. All right, I'm going to use my adhesive again on the back of my heart. Again, this is just designer series paper. Putting it a little bit more up toward the top, but trying to get that centered. And we're going to add this to our card base. Very easy card. It's you're stamping and die cutting the greeting. You're letting this large heart die cut, really in a sense, do all the work for you. It's the designer series paper and the die cut is really the focal on this. All right, I did stamp my greeting ahead of time. That's in real red. So off to the side here, I've got my Stampin' Cut Mini. So this die will fit through there, and that's what I'm going to run through. So let me get this on here. And just in case you don't know, just another little tidbit of information. This will barely fit this way, but when you have dies like this, always try to run them through this way with the way the rollers in the machine go. If you have dies and you run it this way, it can sometimes skip or jump over, and you won't get a good die cut out of that. So let's see if I can get this pretty much centered. Looks like it. I'm just going to use a piece of paper tape to make sure that that doesn't go anywhere on me, hopefully. Get my sandwich made here for my little mini die cut machine. Run that through. Get this out of the way. Whew, good cut. Peel my paper off. Use it again. Paper tape, there's Post-it has paper tape, or you can use a Post-it. I just ordered that online. Then we're going to add some mini dimensionals. I could probably try to get the regular ones to work, but sometimes, yeah, not so well on that. So we're going to add some of these to the back. A long greeting like this, I start and go from each end and work my way in. That way it kind of helps me get stuff kind of centered on that, since it's a long greeting. Yeah. You know, I believe in whatever little tidbits that work for you, that's what you do. Just because someone else does something a certain way, it doesn't mean you have to do that. You figure out and come up with what works for you. It looks centered and it looks straight. Okay, now my baker's twine. I think this is about 15 inches. I'm going to do a double bow. So I've got my baker's twine, get my two ends even, grab my snips. And I usually make my bows up ahead of time because, of course, filming something live, it never goes right. So I'm being brave on this one. So I can get my fingers to work. All right, so now to get this nice and tight, because if you noticed, I did not start off with tying a knot. That adds, like, in a sense, a double knot, more like knots, a larger hump, if you will, lump. So what I do is I always try and get my 2 bow ends on something that's kind of round to get those nice and tight, and then I kind of play with my bow to see how I want it. If I want it a little bit larger, smaller. And you know what? I am extremely happy with with this bow and how it turned out on live TV. All right, I'm going to grab my glue dots. Get a glue dot on the back of here. And let me tell you, I just came back from a stamping cruise. Tina Rappe sponsored that, and went to, where did we go? Her projects are beautiful. Now I've got the glue dot stuck to my fingernail. We went to Aruba, Curacao, Grand Cayman, and on a celebrity cruise ship. I had never been on a celebrity cruise ship, and let me tell you, it was absolutely beautiful. So what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to get my glue dot into a small wadded up glue dot, if you will. But anyway, beautiful projects, beautiful ship. So then, yeah, I came back on a Sunday evening, late flight, 11 o'clock at night. And let me tell you, waiting for my daughter to pick me up at the airport, I thought I was going to freeze to death. I left 70 and 80 degree temperatures and back to Northeast Ohio. And the day I'm filming this, our temperature is 6, and I think right now our wind chill is at 0. I'm going to be hibernating, let me tell you. So I'm going to add my little double bow there, get my snips, and just trim my ends just a little bit. Don't need to trim much. There we go. Because once I start trimming, yeah, the tails almost end up too short. Okay, get all that out of the way. And you know what? You're done. That's your card. You know, we have a die cut, layered it. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, my real red I used is the 2-tone cardstock. I love this cardstock. It not only gives you 2 different tones. Let me pull out a scrap for you. But with layering, it does not add bulk. So this is the real red. So you can see, if you pull another little piece here. This is the side I used, more the real red. This is just like a lighter tone. It is a white core on it, but I love it for layering with my cards without adding bulk to it, or, you know, making it heavier for extra postage. So that's it. This is done. What I want to show you, in case you don't know, is your envelope flap. So you can use liquid adhesive. You can use your tape runner. I'm just going to use my tape runner, but I have my silicone mat out so that this adhesive does not end all over my glass mat. And if you'll see where I use this, I went off, but my adhesive stays right at that top line. There'll be a little bit I have to clean up, but yeah, so just make sure you get, especially your ends. And again, you can use liquid adhesive for this. You want to make sure that your adhesive is on your envelope flap, not on your DSP, because you will be trimming that. And then make sure you've got, if it's a pattern, make sure it's in the right direction. Wow. If someone got a card from me and their hearts were upside down on the envelope flap, yeah, that would just, they would figure it out. Well, he's having a bad hair day again. All right, so I want to make sure that this is nice and secure. So I'm just going to go over it with, just rub it down with my bone folder. Just make sure you've got a nice seal on that. And then just grab your snips, and you're just going to trim away the excess. So that's why it's important you put your adhesive on your envelope flap, because then you would be if you put the adhesive on your DSP, then you're fighting with cutting with the adhesive. If you have silicone scissors, might not be so bad. And you know what? It doesn't matter if this is not exact to the envelope, because you've still got the gum to edge here where you'll be able to seal it. So again, this is today's project, featuring the Endless Love dies and also the Made with Love Designer Series paper. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you're somewhere cold, stay warm. If not, enjoy the sunshine. So have a great one. Bye.